Please advise. Thank you so
You
much.
know, it's very simple to buy a house here and have no room in paradise. Very simple. Some people think because I have to have a house. Says who that you have to have a house? In America, the American dream is to own a house. And you have seen, last 2 years, hundreds of thousands of Americans lost their dream overnight. They were homeless. They literally lost their dream. And they ended up, according to the CNN, there was a rise in the rate of those who committed suicide, 25%. Why? Because they lost their dream. They lost their dream. They left to buy a house. No, I don't have to buy a house if I cannot afford it. If somebody gives me the money to buy the house and render back the money whenever I can afford, I'll be more than happy to do that. If somebody says, take this, I have extra, and I don't mind, no problem. It's optional. You want to take it or you don't. It's not haram. But to steal, to buy a house, haram. To borrow with interest, to buy a house, haram. To sell beer or alcohol or cigarette in order to buy a house, haram. So we have to understand halal and haram in the right perspective. One can definitely think as much as he wants that if I skip this restriction, I can make a lot of money and so on. The Prophet ﷺ says in the hadith, الربا وإن كثر فعاقبته إلى قل. يعني, those who think that by dealing with interest, that they grow their business or their investment or money or house, in fact, it is the opposite. The final outcome is entirely the opposite, which is destruction. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, I know somebody might say, yeah, but this scholar from this part of the world was coming from Mars. He says, yeah, but in the 21st century it's okay, because you're living in America it is permissible, or you're living in a non-Muslim country it's permissible. What can I do with this ayah? يَمْحَقُ اللَّهُ الرِّبَى وَيُرْبِي الصَّدَقَاتِ الْمُحْقِ. يَمْحَقُ اللَّهُ الرِّبَى. Al-muhq means to withdraw the barakah. Destruction يعني. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وذروا ما بقي من الربا إن كنتم مؤمنين فإن لم تفعلوا فأذنوا بحرب من الله ورسوله. Having a house or not having a house, driving a Mercedes or BMW would not determine my fate in the hereafter, would not really determine whether I'm going to hell or heaven. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam saw Al-Hasan. Al-Hasan is a child, the grandson of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He just picked up a date, but it was from amongst the dates which were collected for sadaqah. And you know that the Prophet ﷺ and his family members should not eat the sadaqah, the charity. So he took it off his hand, he slammed it in the hand and he said, Kh, kh. It is a charity, don't eat it. He's a child. It will make a big difference. It's a child. No. Make sure that what you admit to your stomach is from halal in order to prosper. فَكُلُّ جَسَدٍ نَبَتَ مِنْ حَرَامٍ فَالنَّارُ أَوْلَى بِهِ. Many people did not mind. They bought the house, they furnished the house from riba, and the couple fought together and they filed for divorce. They broke up and they split the family. They don't even think about a reason. Why did this happen? There is no barakah. You challenge Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look what happened. Many people neglect halal and haram. So they buy the house from haram, or they invest their money in haram, and mashallah they have beautiful kids. They send them to medical school, to law school, they study in Harvard, they study in the UK and here and there. And by the way, what happens? I'm talking about, of course, an experience. I'm not trying to make your life hard or difficult, but I'm saying that if you live by the guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will have the happiest life. Even if you're still living in a rental property until death. I don't really care. It doesn't matter. So what happens when the kids boycott the parents? What happens when the kids disobey them and become disobedient? What happens when some kids beat their parents? How would you do that? I spend that much money on raising you and send you to the best schools. You did not fear Allah in them. You filled their stomach with haram. We need to comprehend these meanings.